Bharat Biotech's Covaxin has got the nod for pediatric use by the subject expert committee today. So this means their vaccine, Covaxin, which was being tested on children between 2 to 18 years, has got a green signal, a positive recommendation from the SEC. Now this is one of the stages before the vaccine actually rolls out, and Bharat Biotech said in a statement that they're one of the few vaccine makers in the world to get a green signal of this sort for a vaccine for children between 2 to 18. Remember, this is a homegrown, completely Indian made vaccine. Now the question though goes beyond this. Of course, the nod from the Drug Controller General of India is the final step before a vaccine is actually marketed and rolled out. Meanwhile, Zycov-D has also got a nod from the government for vaccinations for COVID-19 for those 12 and above. So there are several candidates out there. Also in the pipeline is actually Covovax, made by Serum Institute of India and based on American company's Novavax vaccine. That is also for children, and those trials are on as we speak. There's one more candidate, Corbevax, which is made by Biological E, which is being tested right now. So probably by early next year, mid next year, there'll be 4 or 5 candidates of vaccinations to choose from kids. The question is, should children who are young, below the age of 12, be vaccinated against COVID-19? Now, there is a debate brewing around this, not because it's unsafe in any way. No, not at all. There is no data right now to show that it's unsafe in any way. It does show that it prevents any severe symptoms of COVID-19, though it does not prevent COVID-19 completely, the same as with adults. The question mark arises because in a majority of cases, data has found that children, and especially young children, suffer very mild symptoms or are mostly asymptomatic when contracting COVID-19. So then the question arises, do they really need the vaccine? Is the vaccine being given to them to protect themselves or others in society? Because they seem to be the last piece of the puzzle. You would need to vaccinate kids to push towards herd immunity. Countries like Israel, for example, allow vaccination of children above the age of 5, but only for those with complicated situations. So if a child has a disease which makes them immunocompromised or a lung affliction and needs more protection from COVID-19, then they're allowed a vaccination in Israel, which is giving for those above 5. Children above 12, though, are being given vaccinations in rather large numbers. The question then thus arises that, do smaller kids really need it, and do very, very small kids need it? What experts are also wondering is whether small children will be able to explain properly if they're facing any side effects from the vaccine. Is there enough data out there to show that there is a safe use in a real world scenario? But the other side of the argument, the flip side of the argument is, how else are you going to start sending children to school without any fear or worry? Initial reports coming in from those countries that have opened up schools completely is that there is a surge of COVID-19 cases among kids. Most of them are not very serious, but some of them, a very small percentage, do become serious. Some children also report symptoms of long COVID. So when you balance out the probable adverse effects of a vaccine and adverse effects of COVID-19, the balance seems to tilt in the favor of a COVID-19 vaccine for kids. How soon will it be rolled out in India remains to be seen. Remember, the final green signal has to come for Covaxin.